Hi, so my name's Dylan Shortridge, and I am on a mission to help home renovation companies enter the 21st century by ditching all the leaflets and outdated forms of advertising and instead implementing digital marketing strategies that will revolutionize their client acquisition. So, in this video today, I wanted to briefly go over some short sales training, specifically sales training for kitchen and bathroom businesses. So to do this, I've created this little document here. I'm just going to sort of talk you through all the points that are here and how you can use this to help increase your conversion rates with the leads that you're getting in. So, obviously we'll start at the top here where consistent sales are obviously the key to keeping any kitchen and bathroom business alive. And there is an art to selling, and it's fairly misunderstood for a lot of people. A lot of the people in this industry aren't coming from a sales background, aren't coming from a marketing background, and they lack the knowledge to actually, sell in a way that will mean that they'll convert clients that are both, referral clients or new leads that are going to come in, and they will come in slightly colder than your new clients, than your referral clients, because they're new to the business, they don't know you, they don't have that established sort of trust and understanding about you that a referral would, because they've been sent to you from someone else. So obviously, this is something that can be particularly difficult for businesses that are looking to scale. That they may have got a name for themselves in the local area. They may have been doing quite well on referrals through word of mouth. That's how a lot of these businesses start out. A lot of you probably listening to this have been in that situation, and gets to the point where you're like, okay, well, now I'm looking to scale. Now I'm looking to grow this business further than, this client base that we've established. I want to bring in people from outside in. And that there's a different process to that, because you have to build the trust with these people. You have to have a bit of sales acumen to do it. And implementing some of these tips that we've got here will help you in, increasing your conversion rates and help you in increasing the number of sales that you can get, particularly with colder clients or cold leads. Firstly, we've got sort of framing and positioning and emotional selling. When you are selling, it's very important to be connecting with your prospect on an emotional level rather than rationally. Obviously, anyone with a good set of tools, a good supplier, and a bit of knowledge about construction can probably provide you a new kitchen. And just doing that alone, you'll probably still be able to sell some. Probably a lot of you have been in that situation where you haven't done your sales training and haven't, leveled up in that area yet, but you've been able to sell because you provide a really good service and you do fit really good kitchens. And, that's exactly sort of where you need to start. But by doing that alone, what you're doing is you're commoditizing your service. Because what you do there is simply the kitchens. And then, like I said, anyone can do that. Well, anyone with those things there can do that. So then when you're entered in a commoditized competition, you struggle, because your only thing that people can compare you with your competition is with price. And there's probably always going to be someone that can do it cheaper, and we want to raise the prices rather than bring them down. We don't want to be in this race to the bottom, because you're not going to win in that. Your margins are going to get smaller. You're going to struggle even more with your conversion rates. You're not going to have the money to put back into marketing to bring new people in. You're not going to have the money to pay someone so that you can get off the tools. It's going to create a lot of issues for you if you're in that sort of frame within your mind and within the customer's mind. So you need to establish yourself as a one of one. Rather than the commoditized product, and that way you can't be compared to your competitors. And when this happens successfully, you need your marketing, your branding, and all your sales systems to work together to do this. And we can just dive exactly how to do that in marketing and branding in another video, but this one was specifically talking about your sales and when you're actually in front of the customer, when you're speaking with them. And how you're going to do that is you're not going to tear down your competitors and tell your customer why your business is so much better than theirs. You don't really need to hard sell them on the amazing materials and expert team you have or expertise you might have in fitting kitchens. And you don't need to implement pushy sales tactics, or actually be pushy sales tactics that make your customers feel uncomfortable and make them feel like they have to buy from you. But what you do need to do is engage with your customers on an emotional level, and you need to ask questions that will trigger them to be in a state that is primed to buy. And how do we do that? So we do that by asking the right questions. The key to asking the right questions is to be focusing on a customer's why rather than the what. If we're talking about the what, then you're commoditized. Then you're speaking about a kitchen that anyone else can fit. Anyone that's doing this can do that kitchen for them. And then you're back in this price war to the bottom. Whereas if you're talking about the customer's why, then you're going to more deeply understand the project and the needs that they have, both practically and emotionally, whatever. You need to know what the customer wants the space to feel like. You need to know what the customer is going to be doing with the space. One kitchen in one house is going to be very different from a kitchen in another house. Not just in a practical sense of where the different cupboards and cabinets and drawers are and stuff like that, but in the sense of they're used for very different things. Some kitchens are social hubs where people will come and have family dinners and whatnot, and other ones, this kitchen they might be throwing loads of parties there, or they might just need a functional, practical kitchen because they have a busy life. And when you understand that from your customer, and they understand that you understand that, then you're getting yourself into a position in which they're more likely to want to buy from you because they trust you. They understand that you're actually listening to their needs. And if every other person they've got a quote from is just coming around and saying, what do you want here, what do you want there, what do you want there, and then going, okay, cool, we can do that for £12,000 but you're offering it for 15, then they're going to go for the 12,000. But if they feel like you've really, really listened to them and really understood their needs all over, then maybe that £3,000 difference, they might actually go for you instead because you've connected with them and built that trust in a different way. So it's really, really, really important to ask the right questions. You'll forge much stronger connections and make people much, much, much more comfortable to buy from you. So yeah, that sort of brings me to the end of the asking the right questions. So to ask the right questions, you need to prepare. By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Benjamin Franklin, forgive me for including a quote. It just is important here. So what does it look like when you're preparing to sell a kitchen or a bathroom? Well, you should have some information on the customer before you meet them in their space. You may have spoke with them on the phone. You may have got them to fill out a lead form to book the appointment in. Anything like that, you should have something that And if you've done it over the phone, make some notes. You should be asking some of these emotional questions on the phone before you book the appointment anyway. So if you can have a good idea of that, then when you come into the space, it's going to be much easier for you to just be like, let's think of an example. Say, I don't know. Say let's use the family kitchen example. Say they've told you, we're expecting another child, and we maybe want to expand the kitchen because it's too small, and we're going to need more room because we've got to put a high chair or something like that. Then that when you go in, you've got these questions that you can already be asking about. Even just little things like small talk questions. Oh, when's the baby due? Oh, have you got a name? All these sorts of things are going to help you create a connection with people. People love buying off of people that they like, people that they see as their friend, and people that they people that they think that they can trust. And that's by connecting them this way and not seeing them as just a number or just seeing them as another sale, you'll help increase the likelihood that they are going to want to go with you because they like you and you've left a good impression in their head. So review all of the information that you have on the customer before you visit them, because that will help you plan out how you're going to do the visit. And you should be taking time to plan out each and every visit. You may be doing 2-3 visits a day, but you should be preparing for them, and you should be looking into these people before you go in, because if you don't, someone else might, and they might get the sale when you didn't. Another great thing you can do is have a script. Now, the script doesn't mean, going into the conversation with it's going to go this line, that line, this line, that line, and we're going to say this exactly. But it does mean having an idea of how the conversation would go and an idea of how it can go in a way that you're in control of it. Because by staying in control of the conversation, you have your status slightly higher than the prospect, and you're, clearly the expert there. You come in being the one asking the questions, and, you can then trigger these emotional states. You can then let the prospect know how much you know about what you're doing just through the questions you ask, rather than going in and telling them. People don't like to be just told, oh, I know this, I know that, I know this, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do this. Because everyone that does this work can do that and can go in and say those things. But if you're the one going in and asking the slightly different questions, you'd be amazed at how many people in this industry are not asking these questions. Just through asking some of these questions and speaking to your prospects in this way, you're going to get so many more sales, because there's so many people in this industry that do not have the sales training and do not have the knowledge on how to sell and do not understand it at all. And just by being a bit different, you're going to get more sales, you're going to close more deals, you're going to sell more kitchens, and you're going to make a whole lot more money. And sort of last final point of that is your goal in this sales process is to paint your service as the means of the prospect getting to their dream outcome. Now, I know that's just a small sentence, and there's a lot more that we could go into that. So I'm going to just dive into that real quickly and sort of explain that. Is when someone comes to you looking for a new bathroom or a new kitchen, there's something in their head, some sort of outcome. And usually that isn't just going to be this certain color cabinets. It might be, but usually it's going to be something else, and something, they're seeing things happening in this kitchen. They're seeing themselves in this kitchen in the future. And you need to understand that dream outcome so that you can provide your service as the bridge to the gap from where they are now, where they're in this kitchen or bathroom that they don't like. Maybe they bought the house and was like, oh, we need to renovate this soon because it's horrible. Or maybe, they've just outgrown it and it's sort of things are falling apart, but they're in this state where they are in, a certain level of pain and uncomfortableness with their current situation, but they want to be up here, which is, brand new kitchen where, it's beautiful. All their friends love it. Everyone comes around, all these sorts of things. And you want to be the gap. You want to bridge the gap between here and there. And you can't do that if you're just asking, what do you want from the kitchen? You need to be asking why they want it. And then when you are at the point where you're closing them and, trying to get the deal in, you've got all these sort of emotional triggers that you can sort of pull on a little bit to get them over the line and say, won't this kitchen look beautiful for when your kid's born and when you can put them in that high chair at the end of the table? And, again, you don't want to come off as a pushy salesman type of thing, because people don't necessarily like that. But with a certain level of finesse, you can do that in the right way, where you will trigger these emotional questions, know the certain strings that you can pull on without also then triggering them to be in a defensive place. It's definitely something that is a skill, and it's definitely something that can be learned, and something that you can do training with. And one of the best ways in which you can do that is actually just through doing some sales role play. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you probably have a team. There's probably a few of you in there. Maybe there's a couple people that go out and do, home visits and whatnot. You should do some sort of sales training with each other where you're practicing. You could do a couple times a week where you just, role play a sales situation, and, you'll know what things are coming up that are common objections or problems or things that, you'll regularly get within this industry. That will make, the obvious one is things like price and stuff. And if you can practice ways of handling those with each other in a team in a role play situation, it's going to feel a bit awkward and uncomfortable at first. But the ROI that you're going to get on that is insane, because you're going to come in prepared. You're going to come in and have gone through the situation over and over in your head, so that it's nice and easy when you're actually doing it in front of the customer. So that kind of brings me to the end of this video. It was, fairly brief, and I'm sure that in the future we'll do some much more in-depth videos about sales training. If you've got any ideas of things that you'd like us to cover specifically about sales training, please leave them in the comment below, and we'll, get back to you and, potentially make more videos about it. Oh, and if you are struggling with your client acquisition and would like to find out a little bit about how we might be able to help you, there is a link in the description. Just for full transparency, it is a sales funnel. You don't have to click it. I really don't mind. There's plenty of videos coming out on this YouTube channel that will give you loads and loads of free value. But if you'd like to find out a little bit more about how we can help you, just click it below and have a quick look. So yeah, thanks for watching. Obviously, if you found this valuable, please give it a like, subscribe, and just let YouTube know that you want to keep seeing more of this content. And yeah, any ideas, please comment below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.